Right, guys, this is a real chat. We're going to talk one-on-one. You notice that the location I've got with me is a little bit different. This is a part of one of my offices that I have. I've got several that I use, and I've just had the team come in and set up a little setup here so that we can make some content for you guys. But this particular video, I want to have some real talk with you guys. I want to have some real talk about what I'm about to do with my content strategy, how it's going to benefit you guys, and how it's going to push me to be a better version of myself for you guys. So you might have seen the Unbreakable podcast went quiet for a couple of months. Never underestimate a man who disappears, goes ghost, if that man is determined to raise the bar. The whole objective of not posting on my podcast for 2 months wasn't due to laziness. It wasn't due to lack of motivation. I'm not going to stop doing it. In fact, I'll never stop doing it. I'm going to do this forever. No one can stop me. It's going to happen forever. If someone doesn't like it, blow me. I'm just going to keep doing it. And if someone doesn't like it, I'm probably going to do it more. So get ready for more podcasts, number one. Number two, I believe in quality and quantity, meaning I'd rather post the best podcast of my entire life once in 2 months than post 4 terrible ones across the course of 2 months. So I made the conscious decision to go ghost, stack as many connections as I can to get you guys the best podcast in the world. And the one that I'm about to drop next is going to be an absolute banger. I guarantee you, you are all going to be blown away by this one. What does that mean? It means the podcast is going to step up its game. How? We're going to have bigger guests. We're going to have higher quality. We're going to be posting more often, which means I'm going to really try for the unicorn status of podcasts, which is quality and quantity. If I can achieve that, I don't care about views, clicks. I don't care about being known. I don't care about notoriety. I don't care about being recognized. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of it. All I care about for me, from a content perspective, is constantly raising the bar for myself and for the guests that I bring on. Because for me, it's a privilege to sit at a table with people who've given me their time. And so I owe it to those people to capture their legacy in the best way that I possibly can. So me going away for a couple of months and going quiet does not mean I've gone anywhere. Remember that. I'm never going to go anywhere, ever. Nobody can stop me. But what it means for you guys is you're going to get better content and you're going to get better guests. We're going to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're going to keep raising the bar, and we are not going to stop. Furthermore, for my content, I'm going to get more real with you guys. I'm going to add more value to you guys. I'm going to be more consistent with my content. One of the coolest things I think that I've delivered in my content to people that watch it is I've communicated the fact that I'm a big fan of finding hacks, and I'm a big fan of finding better, smarter, sharper ways to do things. One of my biggest downfalls when I started in business, particularly in e-commerce, I'm currently sitting on 8 brands, but I started with just one. Actually, no, I had 2. I had 2 brands, and I was working ridiculous hours every day. So I was working like 16, 18 hours a day. I still will work similar hours, but I became so obsessed with my work and so obsessed with what I do that I couldn't sleep. And I couldn't sleep because I felt guilty that if I'm sleeping, I'm not working. I hated it. I hated not being able to work every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I cracked a code, and I've shared this before. I'm going to share it with you guys once more. And the code is how to work 24 hours a day and also sleep. And here's what I did. It's as simple as this. I'd wake up 6, 7 a.m. I'd have my cold shower. I'd have a coffee. I'd have a light meal. I don't like to have a heavy breakfast because it makes me feel a bit tired. So I'd eat something light. That way I'm energized. I've got some endorphins, some dopamine. I'm pumped up and I'm ready to go. So I wake up at that time. I'll work all the way through till lunchtime, 1, 2 p.m. and I'll pump a gym sesh. The gym sesh feels like it resets me for a second day. So if I work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., have a gym sesh, it means I can go all the way from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that way I've worked a good 12 plus hours in that day. But the question became, what do I do in the time where I have to sleep to live, but I feel guilty because I can't, I want to keep working. So what I figured out was, if I can make a giant list at 8 p.m. every night, and I've got around 100 contractors that work for me now, 20 staff, 50,000 customers, 8 brands. We operate all over the world, the UK, Australia, America, New Zealand, Europe. We sell products everywhere. But you can't do that as just one person. So what I figured out was, at 8 p.m., I said, if I could clone Liam, what would I do? And the answer to that was, I would just get 100 people And each of those people will represent one skill that I can do that nobody else can do. So if I'm good at like editing, which I had the grasp of, I'd get an editor to work for me. If I was good at writing content, I would get a content writer. If I was good at web development, I'd get my web developers, my designers, my marketers. This is all stuff that I could do, but I'm only one person, I'm not an octopus. So at 8 o'clock, I would basically create a clone of myself by outsourcing everything that I would do if I could work all night to the people that work for me on my contract book. And I would intentionally outsource it to people who were awake while I was asleep. So for example, I think we're in opposite time zones with Germany. So if I wanted to do content writing and graphic design and marketing content for my brands, I can't work from 8 p.m. until 4 in the morning to do that. But what I can do is I can get my team in Germany to work on that for me so that when I go to sleep before midnight, by the time I wake up at 6, 7 a.m., cloned Liam, which is all my contractors who work in the opposite time zone, have done all the work for me while I am asleep. So the key takeaway to this is I figured out a way where I could hack the system, and now technically I do work 24 hours a day, because although I only pull 12 to 16 hours of actual Liam working, when I go to sleep, I have a team that clones all of my good attributes, does all the stuff that I could do anyway, and I use them to work while I sleep. So at any point of the day, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m., 8 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., it does not matter. Every hour in one of those days, me or a version of me will be working on my stuff. That is how you hack the system. And that's how you go from owning one brand to owning 9 brands. So this was my hack to the system to clone myself so I could work more. But when I started doing content, my biggest problem was I couldn't crack volume. I'm like, why am I not able to make enough content for these guys? Because realistically, I could sit here and make a video every day for the rest of my life. But the problem is, if I'm doing that Monday to Friday, it'll get in the way of that 24-hour-a-day flow. So what I did was I said, okay, I got to problem solve this. And I figured out that if I use half to 70% of my weekend to lock in on content, go underground, get in my office, have my team come in and just help me pump out more and more content so I can add more value to you guys. What it meant was I still get that 5-day-a-week, 24-hour-a-day workload from Liam and the people who work for me while I sleep. But then what I also get to do is I get to come in on the weekend, and by doing that, I figured out I've been able to get a 400% increase in content. So what that means for you guys is you're going to get more content. It's going to be higher quality. The podcast will be better. The guests will be better. These videos are going to get better. And it's all going to get better. Like nothing's going to go backwards. We never take a backward step around here. We only step up. So, I hope you've learned a couple of lessons from this video. This was really just supposed to be an update on what's been happening, what I've been doing. But the key takeaway is I've hacked the system to learn how to work 24 hours a day, and now I've hacked it again to get 4 times more content for you guys. So I don't have to feel guilty for under-delivering for the people that follow my content. I don't have to feel guilty that I'm under-delivering for my contractors, my staff, my employees, my customers, the people that consume my free education content. I'm not under-delivering for them anymore. I feel like now I'm finally at a point where I've cracked the content code so I can deliver 4 times more content for you. And who knows, guys, maybe next year I'll be able to deliver 8 to 10 times more content for you guys. But for now, that's what I'm doing. If there's any key takeaways from this, it would be that there is almost always a solution to every problem. And there is almost always a hack for everything that's going to prohibit growth. So in the same way that I managed to double how hard I work, I've now figured out how to quadruple how much content I can do. So learn these lessons. Feel free to copy me if you want. I do get called Robin Hood, so it would be ironic if I didn't tell you guys to copy me the same way I copy other people. But this is how I've cracked the code to unlock more workflow for you guys. And it's also just a bit of an update in terms of what's been happening and how I'm going to be working a lot harder to create more value, more wealth, more opportunities for you guys so that you can take part in what I do. And for me, that makes me sleep better at night because I know I'm contributing more to you guys. I'm contributing more to the world. And we're just going to keep creating better and better content. It's not going to go anywhere but up. So look, I hope you've enjoyed this one, bit of an update. And as I said, strap in because I've got more videos coming and these videos are gonna slap. I promise you guys. Stick around.